In this lesson, we will discuss the basic structure of a C program. We will dissect a Hello World program in order to understand the different elements involved in a C program. Now let's get started. Let's say we have written a simple Hello World program, and let's name this program hello.c. The first statement that we write in this program is #include stdio.h. stdio.h will be placed inside the angular brackets. The next statement would be int followed by main and then void. The void will be written inside parenthesis, okay? Then we have a pair of braces, and inside this pair of braces we have two statements. The first one is printf hello world followed by semicolon, and the second statement is return 0 followed by semicolon. Now when we run this program, it gives the output hello world, or in other words, the hello world string that appears in double quotes inside the printf statement is printed on the output screen. Now let's dissect the different elements of the program that we typed, that is hello.c. The first thing that you may have noticed is the statement #include stdio.h. The #include is a preprocessor directive that serves to include the contents of the header file stdio.h. Header files, which are also called include files, are text files that are combined with the source code of the program before it gets compiled. Header files have the extension .h. Including a header file in your program is somewhat analogous to including a standard heading in a business letter. Header files contain preprocessor directives, which are also called compiler directives. Compiler directives tell the compiler the definition of the words or phrases used in a program. Several compiler directives have been combined together in header files, which may be included in the program's source code before the compilation begins. The prototypes for the standard C library functions is also contained in the header files, which is another important purpose served by the header files. Next comes the main function. A function is nothing but a routine that performs a specific task. The word int preceding main indicates that main returns value of type integer to the main program, which in this case is 0. The word void in parenthesis following the main indicate that the function takes no arguments. Now, as we just discussed, main is the function name and it is followed by a pair of parentheses, and these parentheses indicate that main is a function and not a command. The void inside these parentheses indicates that the function does not take any arguments. Next we have printf hello world in double quotes inside parentheses, and after the right parenthesis we have a semicolon, and this whole statement is a single C statement, okay? This whole program comprises of just one function called main, but as we will see shortly that it is possible for a C program to have several functions, but the main function has to be the starting or the entry point of the program, or in other words, the program's execution starts from main. Okay. Now hash include stdio.h is the first statement that we write in the program, and stdio.h is the header file, and the hash include is the preprocessor directive. Now we have discussed about preprocessor directives and header files already. Okay. The keyword int before main indicates that the main function returns an integer type value. The keyword void in parenthesis indicates that the function takes no arguments. The return statement returns the integer value 0 to the main program to signal the end of the program. The statement int main void is followed by a pair of braces, and these braces serve as delimiters. A pair of braces basically is used to delimit a block of code. Semicolon is used to terminate a statement in a C program. Every C statement must end with a semicolon. The semicolon thus serves as the statement terminator. When a program is run, the operating system first transfers the control to the main function. In other words, main function is the entry point of any C program. A C program may have multiple functions, but the program execution always starts with the main function. Even if main is not the first function in the program listing, it is the first function to be executed. However, it is a convention to use main as the first function in your program to make it more readable. I therefore advise you to stick to the custom of using main as the first function in your program. A C program may comprise of several functions, and one of these functions has to be main. If a C program contains just one function, that function has to be main. So a C program cannot exist without a main function. The parentheses following the word main indicate that main is a function as opposed to a command. Some of the built-in library functions in C are printf, scanf, strlen or string length, main, getche. The following are the commands in C: float, while, if, return, for. You must have noticed that there are no parentheses in commands. So what distinguishes a function from a command is the presence of parentheses in function. Okay. All of the built-in functions supplied by the C standard library should be written using lowercase letters. Remember, C is a strictly case-sensitive language. So using an uppercase letter for the C's supplied functions will lead to an error. Even though it is allowed to use uppercase letters for user-defined functions, it is, however, a convention in C to use lowercase letters even for the functions that you write. A C program consists of one or more functions. Program execution always begins with main, okay? The opening brace indicates the start of the function and the closing brace terminates the function. Braces delimit a block of code, and we may also use braces with decision control statements and loops. The line printf hello world followed by semicolon is just an example of a statement in C. Each statement in C ends with a semicolon. In other words, a semicolon serves as a statement terminator. It is the semicolon that ends the statement and not the carriage return which is typed following the semicolon. The carriage return is invisible to the compiler. Apart from carriage return, other whitespace characters such as space and tab are also not visible to C compiler. Now some words of caution. If you accidentally type square brackets or parentheses instead of braces in a C program, the compiler will raise an error. Similarly, in the main function, don't forget to type parentheses following the word main. If you type a program using an editor such as Microsoft Word and copy it into the code blocks IDE, you might get several errors from the compiler. The reason is that the codes in Microsoft Word are somewhat different from the codes in code blocks IDE. This brings us to the end of this lesson. I hope you found this lesson useful. See you in the next lesson.